Hi, everyone. I wanted to share with you my insights into Pope Francis. He has one of the most incredibly beautiful charts. What a lovely man. And I hope and wish that maybe at some point in the future, when they're looking to pick the next leader for the Catholic Church, that maybe they'll actually consult an astrologer because you couldn't have picked a nicer guy than Pope Francis. So I want to show you what's in his chart that made him so extraordinary. For one thing, he's a Sagittarius, but he only has that one planet in a fire sign. So everything else in his chart is not terribly aggressive. It's a soft chart, but he has that Sagittarius fire when people first meet him. So that's what helped him have the magnetic qualities that he had, because Sagittarius and all fire signs are quite inviting. It's just think about how nice it is to sit by a warm fireplace. There's something very warm about all the fire signs. So when he was born, the sun was right next to Jupiter. So this is a lovely placement because it means the person is likable, cheerful, and lucky. And it's in the area of his day-to-day work life. So he was in service every day, and he woke up probably mostly with a feeling of gratitude. And look at all these trines up here to his midheaven. He was out in the world to bring comfort and joy. I mean, it's just such a beautiful thing to see. And up here near the midheaven is Uranus, which is pretty close to his midheaven at 0 degrees. So that combination right here makes him a maverick, an unusual leader. This is his career. This is his work. He was a dedicated servant to breaking the mold of how things had been done before. And he did it with a smile on his face, which was amazing. He has his moon in Aquarius next to Venus. This is also lovely because anytime you have Venus, which is the goddess of love, softness, next to someone's moon, it makes for a very emotionally gentle person. And the fact that it's in Aquarius, which is one of the most tolerant and humanitarian signs in the zodiac, it's a very nice thing to have. And he was able, because his moon was in air, he was able to take on a lot more than people who have their moon in water or earth, because air moon people, they can get some distance from it, which is actually really nice when you're doing the kind of work that he was doing. And then we've got Pluto in the first house. I've always said when you have an outer planet in the first house that it means you're in service. And I have this same thing, Pluto in the first house. And I believe the work I do with astrology, I feel like I'm in service to helping people. And that's what he has as well. And it wasn't always easy because there is a square to his midheaven. So this particular placement, it's intense because it feels like you're carrying a nuclear power plant attached to your back. And it's harder when you're younger, gets easier as you get older. And then his rising sign, his ascendant, was Cancer, which made him feel soft and gentle. Cancer is a very mothering, soft ascendant to have. And that's also making a trine to his Saturn, which is beautiful, made him soft, but also strong. Nice combination. His Mars is in Libra, and this means a very balanced male energy, making a grand trine up here to his Chiron and up here to his moon. So this is the grand trine. So he kept his sexuality, basically, which is what it is for all of us, male, female. Mars and Venus is our sexuality. Both of them are in air. And his was also intercepted, so it didn't really have to be activated because he was a priest, and it actually being a priest was probably a very natural thing for him. I think what's really curious is that Neptune in the second house has to do with values and money. And he basically always wanted to live not in the luxurious part of the Pope's residence, but in the less fancy housing. And this is a person who definitely would take the vow of poverty because he's got a lot of squares coming to it. So he was definitely not comfortable with anything that was lavish. And that would be appropriate for him. And just a really, really lovely guy. Smart too, really intelligent, because his Mercury in Capricorn is making a trine to Uranus. And anyone who has that is a quick thinker, an original thinker, but a very grounded thinker. His Mercury is also pretty close to Jupiter, so he had a good sense of humor as well. So literally, this man, between the Pluto in the first house, all of this Jupiter stuff going up here to the midheaven, what an incredible leader. Probably one of the best humans we've had walking on this earth for quite a while. Low in fire, as I said, not an aggressive man at all. A gentle guy with just enough of that fire spark to make it interesting. So what we're going to do next is look at his death, because I think that you will find this quite fascinating. He couldn't have died at a better time. So let's look at that. So we're going to put him in the middle and the death on the outside. He died during a golden aspect. Jupiter was right on his Chiron. This is a very lucky, good thing to have. And then what's really interesting is Uranus brings about sudden, unexpected events. And you see that number 25, 46 degrees? This line, it just crossed over on Saturday, and he died on Monday. So literally within days of it crossing this line, and it takes a long time for Uranus to go from here to here, so 8 years, and then here it finally shifts, and then he passes, which is actually perfect. And now he's back out larger than ever, because with his death and the funeral, he is going to become an even bigger person in the years to come, probably, and really set a tone for what it means to be a beautiful, compassionate leader. He had already finished his Saturn return, which is great that ended. So he completed that. And Pluto, when he died, was on his Venus and on his moon. So it was time. It was the perfect time to say goodbye. His Saturn was also trining his sun when he died, almost exactly. So it's at 26 at the time he died, and his sun is at 25. So that's almost exact and perfect. And then Neptune was also trining his sun. So everything was in alignment. Jupiter was trining his Mars. Look at this, 19 and then 19. This is his body. So it's almost as if Jupiter came in, gave him a golden aspect and said, you know what, pal, you've done a great job. Let's make this easy. And then Jupiter was also trining his moon over here. So what a perfect day to die. What a lovely, quick, easy, beautiful death. So I hope you enjoyed this little analysis of the Pope. We have definitely lost a sacred being. And if you're interested in learning more about astrology and learning how to read charts, just contact me at www.lesliemccork.com, and I would look forward to having you join my group. I also do an Astrology Club that's free, and I look at people who are in the news, and we have an open conversation. It's always on the 15th of every month, so you can write to me and we can get our team to sign you up. All right, thanks a million. Bye.